Hey, how everybody doing? Welcome to Sunday session for June 5th, 2022. Hope everybody having an amazing weekend. Last week was pretty cool. We made some nice trades, took advantage of what the opportunities that was given. But let's see what this week is going to bring. First, of course, we got to start off with SPY. SPY did close below the 411. So I do expect some more downside coming from out of SPY. But again, if you go on to the 30-minute, 15-minute, 1 hour, we've seen that SPY did have a consistent bounce off of the 407. This is around this area here. So hopefully we're paying attention to the 407 support because that's been a consistent bounce at that price point. So going into this week, that's going to be a definite watch. If it don't hold that area, we can have some more downside. But again, this was your area of bounce at that point, and this was another area of bounce at that point. And that's around the 407, 406.73 area. But if it breaks this line, which is 406.73, we definitely going to be able to see some downside. I think puts will be stronger at that level. Of course, you can always trade puts once it goes to its peak. And, Friday was a gap down. I would luckily, hopefully, nobody didn't do much on Friday. Friday was a full day of consolidation between the resistance / support and the just the bottom. Now, I mean, it kept on bouncing off of this area here, which is, a long day of consolidation. We closed right below our support area, which was like 410. So yes, I do expect it to come down. Maybe we may get that bounce again at 407. Small little gap down on Friday, but hopefully everybody kept it, pretty safe and just relaxed. Friday was not a day to really do any type of day trades. We didn't really get no direction. So coming into this week, we should be preparing, to watch support levels. Watch if it bounces back above the 411. So your range, again, should be between 407 to 411 for SPY. Now, either way, if it breaks below 407, which was our consistent support area here, double bottom here, then we'll be able to understand the direction of the market. We may see some downside. If it holds this area and bounces back up to the 411 and breaks back above 411, our target should still be in place around the 416 to about 418. So be prepared for that. Of course, we want to stay consistent at the support and resistance trading. We have to stay consistent on that. So it's going to be interesting to see how the week start off. Last week was pretty dope. Amazon went crazy. Amazon put out some good trades with that. And then, let's look at the 1 week chart real quick. The week didn't end. It didn't end like it began. But again, Amazon went crazy because their split is happening on Monday. That's going to be something to look forward to. The split price should be around 120. That might carry the market starting off on Monday. So if you guys are into Amazon, if you want to buy Amazon shares, this is going to be a high watch going into Monday also because of their split at 120. So we may have to just, look at some charts on that one. We did take advantage of the 2600 trade. Around 150 the contracts was, and then it kind of ran up to about $1,300, and then it kind of went sideways from there, just like majority of everything else. But that was a big move. This is going to be a high watch. This one may carry the market going into Monday. And once that split happened at 120, you may get a whole bunch of buyers in. It may go crazy because of the cheap price. Amazon having, again, let's look at Amazon chart just to give you guys an idea of, we know Amazon company is quality. For the people that have been waiting on, getting Amazon at a better price, or even if you bought it at 2,000, Amazon is a great company. You feel me? It's going to be around for a long period of time. But overall, here goes the 1 hour chart again. The bottom of Amazon was around $2,055. Know what I mean? At the bottom here. And once they start moving, I think Ken put out the 26 we talked about last week. Once it broke above this resistance line, my target was 26, didn't quite get there. It kind of got to the 25.38, which ain't bad. But again, you know, the trade came on a Monday from this area all the way up to about 25. So even if you bought it on, you know, Monday and traded up to the resistance that I had was like 24.75, you notice that it consolidated at that point and then had that nice little burst on the second, just to give you a nice little move up towards the 25. And Friday, everything kind of went flat and then went sideways. Notice where it consolidated at was where it basically ended the week at. So tomorrow's going to be crazy. You know what I mean? I think tomorrow's going to show us, you know, if Amazon's going to carry the market, how that's going to go. But you can see right here, it kind of ended the week where it consolidated at on the 1st. So please pay attention for Amazon. If anybody got any Amazon questions, feel free to ask either in the premium lobby, or you can ask Ken, or you can ask right now. It don't really matter. But this is going to be a huge watch, because once that split come, the volume going to kick in. You may see a surge up to about 140, 150. I'm not saying that, you know, you should wake up first thing in the morning and go grab Amazon. What I'm saying is be patient, because some people probably got Amazon at this 2000 and just waiting for that split to come and get that small little surge where they can cash out with a little bit of money. You feel what I'm saying? Because their split price is going to be different. They may be around the $90 and the $100 area if you bought it at 2000, but the split price is going to be like 120. So if you see it bounce up to 140 and 150, I'm not telling you to rush in and just grab it. I'm telling you, be patient, because usually when these splits happen, it has some downside and you're going to be able to see a good support. And then it's going to more than likely take its time and start reversing back up. So the quality of the business is there. Amazon was also voted one of the #1 companies to work for this year. It's a lot of news coming up out of Amazon. So this is going to be a high watch after this split. But hopefully their contracts, you know, be a little cheap. You can grab a 150 or 160 day trades. But let's see how it go. You know what I mean? I plan on buying some Amazon once it's settled. And you're going to see the settle price of, you know, what area is going to settle at using your technical analysis. Or if you do your evaluation, you should do a fair value evaluation and see how much it's worth. And then you can take advantage of it. But more likely can't have something coming out for Amazon, you know, later on for you guys. So please be prepared for that. But overall, you know, again, you know, the market did close in a sideways movement, or a small consolidation for the whole day, broke below the 411. These are signs that we may see some downside. But again, this last week, we had bounces at 407. So there's a lot of things that we have to consider going into this week. SPY is an easy example that we can use when you're trading, especially when it has been consistently bouncing at 407, retesting that 411. Let's see what happened for this week. If the market don't hold up, if the tech don't hold up, guess what? We always got oil, guys. The oil sector has been still running the show for the last 2 years. The biggest movers for literally the last 2 years. The 1 year performance, you can notice XOM has done 61%. Since, you know, 2020, that's like 120%, because it was definitely down to about $30 to $40. And we're knocking on the door at 100 right now. My target price for XOM is at 104. Valero is my long-term stop. We got in around $45 and $50. We're at 135 on Valero. But whatever you're doing, please don't never forget about, you know, the go-to should be oil. And you can squeeze in small windows of trades if you have an opportunity. QC put out the XOM call. That was probably Thursday, and it was literally a perfect swing going into the next day for Friday. And I was like, you know, that was a great trade. So let's see what happened with XOM. We got a lot to talk about other than those, but the ones that's moving right now, you know, we got to stay paying attention to those and got to take advantage of those opportunities, man, for sure. But yeah, the market's still on discount. This is the 1 year performance chart. Disney is still down 38%. Walmart's still down 11%. You see Facebook is down, 42%. This is the 1 year performance. Break it down to the 6 month performance. You still see that we still have discounts. Now, I mean, so let's go down to the 3 month. As I continue to go down, I still see discounts, Apple is down 10% in the last 3 months, almost 11%. And then even on the 1 week, you can see that we still have slight discounts on the 1 week. So don't be afraid around this time, man. Start doing your homework, get in your bag, because the market's still at a good place for whole shares. Anybody got questions so far? That's my trying to say something. So let's see what we got so far. We want to talk about charging point, man. I mean, QC put it out around $10. We should have kept reiterating that trade. I mean, it wasn't on my radar, I'm be honest, until he mentioned it. Definitely gave you a nice entry around that $10 and some change. But we're knocking on the resistance door right now. A break above the $15 area, we'd definitely see a nice move towards the $16 and the $17 area. But overall, the July $20 call volume is extremely high. So people are expecting it to test that 1966 resistance on the 4 hour. Again, it was put out around this area, $10 and some change, probably 2 weeks ago on the 25th, 24th. I don't know when QC did it, but it was literally super early. The move ran up, broke above the resistance and retested it. And then now we got a full move once we break above 15. So add that to your arsenal for this week. Cheap contracts, reasonable, but we're looking for a break above the 15 for a move towards 1730. And that's going to be the first target, but the ultimate target is 1966. $20 calls again for July is a reasonable price right now. If we have some downside first thing on Monday, ideal entry is 1422 and 1358. Because more likely hopefully we get a retest at that support. But if not, we might have a full breakout going on Monday because the volume is so high. A lot of people is investing into charging point. I seen an article came out that their CEO was voted one of the best CEOs. So I think that's kind of helping it also. But overall, we know that the future is EV. I don't know if anybody even seen the new Hyundai EV car, but they're dropping. Hyundai dropped their EV. We know that, of course, Tesla is around. We know NIO. We know that NIO got earnings this week. We know Lucid is coming up. So it's a lot of things going on around the EV market. So please pay attention to the charging stations, because that's going to be a big deal going into the next 5 to 10 years for sure, especially at these discounted prices, man. This was just $8 in the beginning of last month. So, in May, you could have got charging point at $8. This throw up a reminder that these charging stations, did get a big deal from the government when they announced that they're coming out with all these charging stations around America. These are going to be on high watch. This was just $40 back in, 2020. So 2 years ago, we was trading charging point. We was getting all that money in between there. And now we're coming back down to $8 buy-in. I'm not saying the company is the best ever. I'm just saying sometimes getting them discounts can work in your favor if you know what you're doing.
Hey, can I comment on that?
Go ahead, Vidal.
If you saving for your future 10 years from now, 5 years from now, like this is it right here. You see how the gas station is going up on these gas prices? A lot of states, a lot of companies want to be carbon neutral, carbon free by 2030. They really want gasoline to go away. Looking at this charge point chart right now, it's like if you're holding for your future, for your kids or something, 10 years from now, these gas stations are going to be replaced with charging stations, because the majority of America is going to be like a Mustang. Some EV Mustangs, oh man, they look so nice. I'm just
like SUV Mustang too.
Yeah, it's nice, man. This might some good prices on charge point. To think if you're for EV, you know, Tesla and all that, then you want to invest in what charges them, where you can go to put gas in your EV car.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody ever seen a pole star.
Nah, what's that bit up?
I ain't know what it was. I saw one on the street the other day. I was like, what the fuck is that? The pole stars, they EV, that's a EV automaker.
Wow.
Them shits look, they look nice. Now I was like, damn, what is that? I never saw one before. I had to look it up.
Yeah, they dropping them, man. I'm telling you, everybody's catching up. Now, Tesla's not just the only one now. I mean, I'm not saying Tesla got competition because we all love Tesla. Tesla's everywhere, you feel what I'm saying? But I'm saying, like, if these other cars start coming out reasonably priced EVs, man, they may be able to, you know, have a little bit of comp. We know if the first one's always going to be the best. You know what I mean? They might have little kinks in these, but overall, EV, man, is going to be the wave. You know what I mean? So let's see what happens. Anybody else got comments on the EV wave? And then speaking of EV, we might as well add NIO to the list. I think we put out some information on NIO last week. And I think Lucid, you should just add a couple EVs, keep them on watch, because Black Pharaoh said that NIO earnings is coming up. So we definitely have to pay attention to this. Real quick, I think we did on the 9th, NIO got earnings. This is a Chinese company, so be aware. But overall, their support was around the 1342. And then now we're again knocking on the door at resistance. I told Black Pharaoh if we break above 18, we can see 20. Didn't quite get all the way up to the 20, but we definitely ran up to about $19. So let's pay attention for this week. We may get that traction. If you look at the 15, you notice that whenever you see them breakouts, they always have a support retest. So we're definitely holding it. We did close above 18. Those are very important things when the stock is closing above resistance. We've been learning that lately, right? So now that, you know, NIO is closing above 18, we can see that retest towards $19. And a breakup above that, we should be looking towards the 20, of course, 2077. So please pay attention. Take advantage of what the market is giving. We don't have to, you know, continue to push things that's not really making a move. We can rotate over and find some different type of trades and kind of, you know, feel our way through the market until we, you know, find the best setups. You know what I mean? So NIO is definitely in that range. Last week it was mentioned. So that was around the 26. It was like, hold on, this is the 31st. So it was like $17. So, you know, $2 move is not bad. Not the scarf or over, especially when they got earnings coming up. You're in at 17, $20 calls was pretty reasonable. It ran up to 19, you could have sold. And now we're kind of closing above the 18. So next target overall is the $20.77. But we definitely got things, cooking. You feel what I'm saying? So please pay attention to that. And then we'll see how it looks. Anybody else got comments about NIO? Okay. Lucid, real quick, just because the NIO got earnings, Lucid is to pay attention to. Tesla, of course, always something to pay attention to because their traction is pretty much strong. But again, if you remember, we've been talking about Lucid and that same resistance area of 1996, way over here. This was literally way over here when we was talking about that. It dropped all the way down about 13, again, beginning of the month. What you're gonna notice sometime with this market that the bottom, a majority of all the stocks is gonna be around the same time. So May 12th was the bottom of the month for May. But I told you guys, as long as June closes above the May bottom, we may continue to be bullish going through July. Remember that. So no matter what's happening on, okay, day by day and week by week, at the end of the month, we need to close higher than we did the month before. Do we all understand? Mm-hmm. So once we get that nice close going into the July, that may show us a nice sign going into, you know, July and August. But yes, the bottom of Lucid was around 1347. We talked about that 1770 break. Every time it breaks above that area, we go test that 1996. Here go that first 1996 break. Before we traded it here, we let it come down. I think somebody mentioned it and got $20 calls for this point. It broke back below 1770, kind of, went sideways below it. Didn't really break all the way down, kind of held above it. And then now we had that retest and it ran up to $20.54 this week. And now we're back down to the 1820. Again, because Neo got earnings and all these companies coming out with their earnings, we may see some traction out of Lucid. So please pay attention with that 1996 there. Entry level should be 1820 and 1770 still. Big time frames, big results. So we're still back on 4 hour. Look at the 4 hour chart. You can see it a little bit more clear than the 15. Kind of looked like kind of messy. But yes, 1996 is definitely the target to hold above. If we ever hold above 1996, Lucid will be back on that trajectory, back towards $26 minimum. I'm not going to say Lucid's going to run up to $160 like we did last time from 19 to 60, but we may be able to get $26, $35 out of there. Especially if you guys did not invest into Lucid before. Make sure you take advantage of the opportunity below 20. And then maybe you can get a nice little move towards the $26 area. In hold shares also, you feel me? So if it holds above 1996, which is $20, $25 calls wouldn't be a bad idea. You know what I mean? I got Disney, Cat, Facebook, Home Depot, T-Mobile on the list. I like going over some of the same things that we already made money off of because it's kind of, already put in place for us to come into this week. Disney did go from 103 up to about 112, which was my target. Didn't break the 112 double top scenario there. Did close above resistance, which is a good sign. We may see a retest towards that 112. We put out the 110 and 115 calls, which was the high volume going into June. We're looking for that same move again. Old support, new resistance is holding up. So we may have a retest towards that 112. Ultimate target for now is the 114. That's why I put out the 115 and the 110 for mid-June. But hopefully we already cashed out from the 103 up to 112. You already made your money. You can just re-enter, wait for another sign of an entry, and then you can be able to enter. Of course, we want the discount. So if it don't hold the 108, 104.64 and 103 definitely has to be the entry areas. But if it holds this 108 and break above 112, I wouldn't be mad at entering that 112. You feel what I'm saying? Make that small window of opportunity up to 112 to 115 and make a couple of dollars there. But I think overall, Disney's at a still huge discount for whole shares. Never forget about that. Whole shares is the way to go, pretty much easy. Buy it and let it cook. We know Disney is a good business that's been beaten down for the last couple of months. Ever since it peaked out around 189 on the monthly. Ultimate peak was about $202. I told y'all Disney is a $200 stock, man. We're looking at it at 103s and 108s. So definitely looking for a reason for it to, make a nice move for the summer. So please be prepared for Disney for sure. If you're not into Disney, it's cool, but I'm trying to find the easiest setups that I can find. So if you have any stocks that you want to mention, please go into the chat and post it. We're definitely talking about it today. Cat. We've seen Cat already break out. Hopefully we have some alerts set on this. We had a conversation about Cat just like a couple of weeks ago. Again, just noticing the same stuff over and over. You know what I mean? And this is basically the same stuff over and over. Downtrend from the peak. We caught the peak. We caught the double bottom. We was lucky enough to catch it at 180, and we caught it all the way up to about $230. You know what I mean? So we made that money. Then it had a downtrend, right? It broke into this long downtrend, found bottom support around the 194. I don't know when last time Cat was mentioned, but I think we talked about it around this area. And then boom, we went from 20, again, purple line is just 201 to 215, broke above the 215, looking like it's on its way up to 229.66 again. But it has to break above 225. The reason I'm bringing up Cat again, because this is a simple trade. I'm not gonna lie, Cat gives out the money. I mean, we know that the contracts, the 210 contracts from the 180 when they ran up to about 230, those contracts turned about $1,300 and started off at like $22. I mean, $15 or something like that. So we have to understand why the quality businesses are going to win. And they're consistent. You feel what I'm saying? They have big moves. They're pretty much visually, they look nice. Their setups is clear. Once it breaks above a resistance, they usually have a nice move consistently. But we have to stay on top of these things. We have to remember that we always got trades in our back pocket if we're consistent enough. So from the 20th all the way to now, CAT has been on a nice uptrend, broke the downtrend channel around 209, and it pushed all the way up to about 224. Looking for CAT to break 25, maybe able to squeeze in some 235 depending on the day it breaks. If it breaks on a Monday or Tuesday and retest the 229, we can probably squeeze in a day trade at 235. So it'll be pretty reasonable for the week. If not, we may have to go long on CAT. We may have to go long on CAT. So let's go look at some CAT calls real quick. No pun intended.
Man, yeah, I'm mad I missed the entry on that. It's just, man, there's so many stocks out here, bro. You know, you can't put them all.
Definitely a lot of stocks, man. And that's why we come in here. I want to kind of, limit so many different options. I want to kind of give out details on what an entry look like and how we should enter. I'm not trying to put out a lot of information. I hope you guys are noticing that. I'm not trying to, overlook what's already being put out. And I'm also trying to give you guys a teaching moment throughout these charts, man, because these charts don't lie. They work. So if you can consistently read these charts and you start consistently using the lessons that's taught, you're going to consistently make money. If you just blindly out here buying because somebody telling you to buy, I mean, it's going to be a little difficult for you because the panic won't set in. You're not going to understand what a support hold look like. You may not understand what a resistance break look like. You're just buying it and thinking it's going to go up right when you buy it. Sometimes it don't do that. We had some examples of that also this week. If you're buying the 415 SPY calls, it came down to about it came down a little bit lower than 407. So when that happened, fear shouldn't set in. You should be confident enough to know, man, we're going to go retest the 411. Now, I mean, that's what I'm trying to build here. So hopefully we're building that confidence up. I see on June, I see some 230s coming in for June 17th. And again, the reason the 230 volume is pretty much, the open interest is pretty high, 225 is pretty high. Because again, we're trading resistance. So if we're trading resistance, guess what? Everybody else is. So those are high volume, 225s and 230s. The resistance is 229.66 and 225.40. So this is why you see high volume on those. I mean, so if you can afford them, of course, I say go for it. Once you get above the 225, go for a nice 230, 235 for a day trade. But again, we're just waiting. It's a waiting game. Now, I mean, ideal entry would be 220, 218, and 215. Those are ideal entries. If it breaks below 220, of course, every level has to hold for the next, right? The solid resistance was the 218, of course, and the 215. But that's why we're setting our alerts towards 3 resistances and 3 supports. So when they go off, we're prepared and we can enter the trade almost perfectly. So please pay attention to that with CAT, man. I got some reasonable more contracts. So please, if you don't like CAT, it's okay. We got some more cheap ones coming. Facebook. So we've seen Facebook had bad news. One of their executives stepped down. We hate to see that. But off of the bad news, it had a nice little bounce back up. So this is the 4-hour chart right here. This is the bad news right here on the first. And then this is the reversal right here on the second. And then, of course, Friday was another downside day, back to support. We closed above the 189, which is a great sign. We may have a nice retest towards the 197. 189 was the, bad news time. And then, it kind of reversed back up and tested that $200 area. Let's look for that to hold again. If Monday start off, it don't hold, it come at the 185. Let's look for the 185 entry. That's more of a discount. We should be going a little bit long on Facebook now because we're getting these cheap prices. And plus, Facebook is still, looking good. It's not looking horrible. It's not looking amazing, but it looked good. You know what I mean? It's not breaking all the way down to the 170s. We're kind of holding up above resistance. So please, set your alert, 189, 185. And then let's see what happens if we can be able to pull off a $200 call for the weekly on Monday or Tuesday for that retest towards 197. That'll be amazing. But if that don't happen before Monday or Tuesday, we may have to go a little bit longer. Let's go see what's going on. Oh yeah, the volume is kicking in. They're not playing with Facebook. I think people really want the market to reverse. I see 195s. The action bid is not bad, but yeah, 200. That's reasonably priced, man. 157. Of course, we can pull off for 200. That'll be great trade, and then we can be able to capitalize off of it on a Monday or a Tuesday. This is the mid-month, $200 call still high, and 205s. Let's go down to July. I want July. I want more July calls than anything. Yeah, stay at 210, 205. So let's see how this week go, man. If we hold this support area at 189, if some good candles come in first thing in the morning, we may be able to get that retest towards 197, and we'll be able to take advantage of that $200 call around $150. So anybody got questions on Facebook? Home Depot. Home Depot been brought up a whole bunch. We've been talking about Home Depot for almost months. I just want to keep reiterating Home Depot. It's not a super, a lot of volume. It's not going crazy, but we are closing above resistances. It is a quality business. I think we're going to go retest that 313 this week, which is the resistance from back here. You notice it back in May. So now that we're holding at that area, I'm looking for a 315 call for this week off rip. That's going to be a high focus. I'm going to get a star on that one because I'm definitely going to be looking for that retest. That's a simple trade, nothing too heavy. The candle's looking good. We got a doji here set up. So we definitely can look for a 313 move coming this week, hopefully. Make sure the prices is right. Going into this week, I see 320s coming into this week. That's reasonable too. But 315, 101, man, the action bid kind of spread it on this one. Let's see how it worked tomorrow. Maybe get a little bit tighter. But if you can put it around 115 for axe price, and if we can get in at that point, that would be dope. But let's see how the morning brings. It did close above resistance, so we are looking for a move towards that 313 for sure. The week after, I see pretty much everything looking good. But let's see what happened at these resistances. I can't tell you to buy 330, not yet, because it hasn't really reached that point. You've been playing around with it, but it really haven't reached and broke out. That 313 has been a good resistance for almost a month. So let's wait for that 313 break before we decide a 330. But above 313, yeah, we definitely can do a 330 call. You know what I mean? But for right now, 315 is definitely going to be the ideal trade. That's pretty much simple, man. T-Mobile. I've seen T-Mobile. We've been talking about T-Mobile for a little bit off and on also, but T-Mobile is finally getting this move. It's not a crazy move, but it's definitely breaking above resistance at 135. My next target for T-Mobile is 145. Their contracts is pretty reasonable consistently. You got to keep a T-Mobile, AT&T in your back pocket. You just got to. Their contracts are super cheap. It's reasonable. You can actually make good trades. You can actually go longer on T-Mobile and AT&T. Honestly, you can go to August and pay a nice price and not be so far out and where it's like, oh my gosh, it's hurting me. But they're 145. That action bid pretty messed up. Let me go down a little bit. The 140 and the action bid is tough. I gotta look at this once the market open up. If that action the bid don't change, we may have to just find something for a weekly. But I think it's gonna go retest that 145 eventually, man. That's the ultimate target. It's held closed above 135. So that it sounds impossible for a $10 move to come, but that sector's been beat down also. T-Mobile is down about 13. AT&T was down about $13. you can notice right here, you know, this was down about 120 at the bottom of the month. And then now we're starting to get a nice move towards 136. So let's see what happened. Let's see what happened, man. This is a high watch, kind of gapped up for their earnings if you're looking at FinViz. So I'm definitely putting it on the watch list. I'm gonna set some alerts just in case, because I really like for T-Mobile to go test that 145, and I'm in it. But you can throw that on there. Resistance is 145. I really ain't got nothing else in between there, because it's been fighting that resistance multiple times. This is where it came to 122 on the 11th, and then, you know, it's kind of retested that area once it broke above 127. So let's see what happened with T-Mobile, guys. And that's pretty much it, man. I'm telling you, I'm not really going crazy today. There's some great news that's coming out about different stocks. NVIDIA is the fan favorite. AMD is the fan favorite. I can go over that real quick with you guys just to give you guys an idea of what's going on with those. Here go the 4-hour chart. I think most people traded the $200 call for NVIDIA this week. It ran up to 197. Let me cut out some of these lines, make sure I'm putting them at hard resistances. But the bottom of the video is 158 consistently. Every time the video comes around about 158 or 180, I mean, those are two good buy-in areas for it to go run up and test the 197. But the ultimate break and hold is 206. I mean, so we're definitely, we close above 183. We may come down to about 180. Watch out for that 180 hold. You can notice once it broke above 180, it kind of came down slightly here and then had a nice break towards 197. But ideal entry, 180, 177, 171. Those are ideal entries. Those are the areas you really want to try to get in at, especially if the market is going this way. We noticed that resistance was pretty strong at 180, but once it broke the 180, we closed above 180. So that's also a good sign. So if you're into NVIDIA, look for your entry around 180, 177, and then, you know, the same $200 call. Now, I mean, I think that'll still work out for most people. AMD. I know people made money off of AMD last week. Congrats to you guys also. But again, chart setup is everything. We've been waiting for AMD to break above that $100 area for years. Now we're playing around that area. It's kind of going from 84 to 100, back down, whatever. But double bottom setup at $84.88. Retested that 102, came back down about $90, $89, $91. And once it broke above it, it had a nice run up to 108. Ideal entry, 102. You feel what I'm saying? These are areas that we have to take advantage of if it comes back down to that point. We know that the market went sideways on Friday. Didn't really make a decision on what it wanted to do. Hopefully nobody took a trade on Friday. Hopefully all was just sitting there waiting for direction. That's why I said in the premium lobby, I said, look, we want consolidation, then direction. Once we understand the direction of where it's going, that's when we can make a decision on what type of trade we can make. I mean, we have to remember that consolidation, then direction. Now that we had a nice long consolidation in between here, it didn't really make a move. Let's see what Monday brings. We may go test that 110, 109 area again, and then we'd be able to make some money. Is that 106.25? But it has to show us some type of direction. So please be patient with these trades going into this week. We don't know which way the market's going to go. It may fall off. We may die. I don't want to be in a dying boat. So if you're patient, it's going to make you the most money. If you're waiting for your entry, it's going to make you the most money. Just be patient. That's why we come here and tell you guys exactly where to buy it at. So, anybody got questions?
Can you show me that AMD chart again on a different time frame?
Which one you want to look at? Because I'm only this the 15, and I have nothing set up on the 15. I could set up something on 15 if you like.
I like that trend line that is crossed and that support that is crossed. So I'm just trying to, so like a 1 day.
Yeah, it's the 1 day. Yeah, it's the 1 day. It did break the trend line. Good call. Yeah. And the reason I put my trend lines in, because this is the trend line from where we caught it before, back in October. Y'all remember the classic October from last year?
Yeah, last year was crazy.
Bruh, amazing. With that trend line that it broke at that point and it ran up to $164. I'm not saying this trend line is going to give you the same results, but the best thing that you can do is look at the 1 day, bullish engulfing, more than likely to go test 113 eventually. It's all about how you enter the trade. You know what I mean? We can say, oh, it's going to 113. I don't know exactly when it's going to go to 113, but this bullish engulfing shows me that it's a chance that we're going to push up to 113 on the 1 day. It may take 3-4 days to get there. You feel what I'm saying? But you just want to be prepared for it at a good price range. So I'm trying to give you guys an idea of how to get in again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's sweet, man.
It looked good. It looked good. I'm not going to.
I'll wait for that retest of that 102.
Yeah, for sure. I think the retail, if Monday, if Amazon don't push the market on Monday, I think Amazon is. But if Amazon don't push the market and it come to 102, that will be ideal. Because AMD had a good earnings and NVIDIA had a good earnings. And you see these EV cars getting dropped off like crazy. We've been talking about EV for the last 2 years. Like nothing's, this is it. This is it. We're getting to a point where, we got to either be in some of these quality businesses, because we're kind of at these discounted prices for a 5 to 10 year hold. And then you're going to start seeing some amazing results after that time pass. But let's see what happened. I see some July stuff going on. Company got an event on the 9th of this week. That might be another reason that this might be pushing up. Company have an event this week. The 110 calls is booming. You notice that the resistance is 109. So the 110 calls is high volume, high open interest. It costs about $200, but would it be worth it to get a 110 in the money for that retest towards 109? You feel what I'm saying? We got to think, plan this stuff out. It looks good. I'm not gonna lie, like it looks good. So you can trade if you can risk 200 and trade the 110 and just take advantage of the event week. Don't trade it the day of the event because those usually be horrible. But like if Amazon gives us what Amazon should do on Monday, man, we may be too late, to be honest. I mean, it may take off in pre-market, 4 a.m. You may start seeing these things go crazy. Of course, we can come out with a plan with that because usually when things spike, they come back down to support and we can figure it out. But Amazon should give us some good traction this week, man, for sure. Anybody else got questions? They have an event on the 9th. Again, I mean, earnings is on the 28th. The technical is a fast bullish crossover. I mean, the technicals behind this is almost perfect. And if AMD having some traction, the video is going to have the same traction. $200 call is not going to hurt. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. If you want to go longer, around the same price as the 125s for July 15th. That's if you want to go longer. June 17th, 115, 120s. I like the June 17th 120s. They're under $100, and then even if that traction give us up to the resistance at 113, we're gonna cash out. You know what I mean? I really like. Let me write that down. Make sure I like that June. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that's sweet. Above that resistance line.
Right.
New old resistance, new support.
Right, exactly. That 120 call is gonna be fire for 617. That might be fire. And AMD may get a start.
I wonder when they're gonna raise rates this month. It's probably gonna be like right after that June 17th.
Yeah, it's summertime. I mean, they want people to spend money, so they gotta kind of balance that. Usually the summer is a big spending 3 months. You know what I mean? June, July, August, everybody's spending money. Back to school coming around, everybody gonna be spending money. You know what I mean? So hopefully they keep that balance in there where they're not pushing up so fast where people be like, you know what I mean? But what's funny is that, if y'all reading the reports that can be putting out, less people are getting jobs, but more people are spending money. It's so crazy right now. I don't think people really realizing that. Places are closing down because they don't got employees. But the America is still spending a lot of money right now, guys. And listen, I don't know about nobody else's business. I don't care about nobody else's business. I don't even ask the question where y'all getting money from. but people are out here hustling. People are out here doing what they got to do to survive. So keep that in mind.
Everybody selling drugs now.
Everybody a drug dealer. Oh man, but yeah, it's remarkable. Now, I mean, this time that we're living in, it's really showing you how we can, you know, survive without having, you know, government spoon feeding us. Now, I mean, because we're literally doing it right now. I mean, a lot of people out here don't got jobs and really is doing okay. And people ain't settling either. People are going to these jobs like, man, I don't really like the conditions here. And they're leaving. They're not settling. Back in the day, we kind of had to settle and suck it up a lot.
Oh yeah, this the perfect time to negotiate.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, y'all need me.
Yeah, you need me. So I can probably push the $17, $20 at McDonald's. Like, I can probably push it.
Hey, I'm liable to go on a job interview today and say, look, I'm trying to do as less work as possible and get paid the most amount of money.
Exactly, bro.
Straight up.
Great management position, man. Like,
I'm gonna come every day. I'm gonna be here every day. Y'all need me or what?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's crazy because me and my wife went out this weekend just hanging out, chilling, and we got a restaurant called the Jailhouse in Sanford. It's a 5-star restaurant. It's dope. But dude, they're low. They're not a lot of staff. So they got all these open tables and people can't get served because there's just not enough staff. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's so crazy that everybody's outside though. Everybody's coming to try to eat. Like everybody trying to, you know, do what they're doing, but it's not enough work, man. Well, not enough workers for the amount of customers that's coming in. So it's crazy out here, man. Anybody else got questions?
Hey, what you think about Apple, Dave?
Apple for sure.
Yeah, Nike. I want to talk about that Nike, but I feel like, man.
Listen, don't say nothing about Nike, dog. When we put out this stuff, man, we giving them to them. We giving them the hits. Let's talk about Apple, then I'll go to Nike for sure. Again, Nike, Apple moves with SPY. We're still above the 140. Now, all the charts are different. You feel what I'm saying? So even if this one's above a good support, and then the other one is kind of breaking below the support, it doesn't mean nobody's out the woods. You know what I mean? This can break all the way down and be horrible. But we did close below the 146, which is the ideal support area for the Apple. We're noticed how that support line is like, we're right above 144. More than likely, we're going to go test the 146, guys. We're going to probably come up here and push this little envelope and see how it holds. And if it don't hold, that'll create a double top scenario and we may have some downside. That's what, you know, patience is about. You have to wait until the resistance break, unless you do a day trade. If you want to wake up and be like, man, I might give me a 148 call and run it up to 146. Okay, do you? But I'm trying to swing. I need a solid resistance break. And I want to see it hold above that resistance enough where I can be able to get a good swing in there, a 150 call, and be able to take advantage of it. The bottom support is the 143. We did close, unfortunately, below the 146. This is a strange week, but the things that I wanted to see, I seen, which was the one word I've been using. I don't know if I know, consolidation. When you see the consolidation and the decision being made, you can be able to take advantage of the trade. 1 hour chart, bullish engulfing here. It ran up to about 151, gap down, and then now we're back at 143. It's a solid resistance. You know what I mean? That was the resistance at this consolidation around this area. Boom. So we had a nice little resistance here, right? Same type of deal for 143. It ran up to 150. Let's see if we get that same reaction. But we have to break above these resistances to be able to see that 150 again. My thoughts is, of course, I want to buy in at the best price. So 143, maybe 146 break. I can squeeze in a 150 call, but it has to be at a solid place. So please pay attention to Apple for sure. And I'm long on Apple. I don't care what Apple do. It can come down again, go, I don't care. I'm 5, 10 years, 15, 20 years. I might not sell Apple for the rest of my life. I'm not gonna lie. There's only a few stocks that you can really just wake up and say that. There's only a few stocks.
Looking at that chart right there, bro. If you tighten it again, you put that downtrend line on it. It looked like open it.
Downtrend from this side, or you want to go all the way back?
Keep going, keep going, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put a downtrend. It's above that downtrend.
Oh yeah, for sure. All the downtrends broke. All the downtrends broke on the 4 hour. That's a 4 hour downtrend. They all broke. That's why I'm not really in panic mode. I'm in like, let's buy in. You feel me? That's what you hear what I'm saying. You never hear me mention a put. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just saying I'm gonna wait for my buy-in because the puts is gonna be the window of puts is so tight. I would not suggest grabbing puts at this point. That's just my opinion. Y'all can do what y'all want, but the put window is so tight. I would not suggest getting a put. The only way you'll get a solid put if again we break below 143. That's a solid that's a solid support. Used to be a solid resistance. If we break 143, of course, get you a 135 put. Let it fall. You feel me? 137 is gonna be your cash out area. That's the same thing with SPY. I'm not gonna get a solid. You're not gonna get a solid SPY put until it breaks below 406. Once it breaks and hold 406, that's when you're going. 296 is probably right around the corner. Not 2, but 396 is right around the corner. You feel what I'm saying? That's a $10 drop. You gotta wait for them solid. No matter how you're trading puts or calls, to my opinion, you have to have a solid break. You feel me? Either above or below. So I'm just giving y'all a heads up. That's why I don't care. I come in every day and set my alerts. I don't care. You feel me? If my alerts work, it don't. If it do, it do. Simple. Simple. I'm leaning on what I'm learning. I'm leaning on my growth as a trader. I'm not blindly doing nothing no more. Like that is out the question. You know what I mean? I have too much to risk right now. I'm really trying to do some big stuff. So I'm locked in for real. But yeah. Anybody else? Oh, yeah, sure. Now listen, I can talk about whatever stock y'all want. You feel me? Y'all know I got it charted. You know I'm locked. Upstart. And shout out Lou for that trade. I ain't gonna lie. I took the 55. I'm gonna show you why I chose the ones that I chose. I like trading towards resistance. Resistance is $54. He put it out at the perfect place. You feel me? It was around $45 and it shot up to 54 at a $55 call because I'm trading towards resistance. Now, I mean, it's nothing wrong with the 60. It worked out too. The 55 was like $30. It went to about 250. So, the same results, but different ideas, it still worked. So congrats to everybody who took the upstart trade. Target should be $54.16. And a break above that, I think we should be going, I think it's a gap in this. Yes, huge gap up to 70. But you notice that 54 has to break and hold before we start talking about bigger calls, in my opinion. You feel what I'm saying? We have to get above that 54. So when I see a trade, I'm not gonna lie, I go straight to my chart. What do my chart tell me what the trade's gonna be? You know what I mean? I'm not lying. That's exactly what I do. Every time I see a trade, I lean on my charting. I say, oh, well, 54 is a good resistance on the 4 hour. I'm trading a 55. I'm keeping it that simple. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not going crazy. But congrats on either trade. Both trades worked out. So it was an amazing week. I took the upstart trade. So it definitely worked out. I appreciate that trade too. If Lou in here, I appreciate it. Oh, shoot. Okay. Y'all typing. Y'all want to talk to me? Okay.
It's loud where I'm at, dude. That's why I can't.
Oh, no, you straight, bro. Do your thing. So Seahawk Tiger works for Apple. He's saying there's a big event coming up this week. I'm going to tell you from history, Apple does not have the best events. Period. So if there's an event this week, get you a 135 put. I'm being honest. Every time Apple have an event, I don't know what it is. We sit there and watch it. We go through it. We'll sit there and watch the event, and it's so boring. And the stock drops.
Hey, they ain't no hype man.
Yeah, bro, we need Samuel Jackson on Apple. We made jokes about this for years. I'm like, bro, every Apple event is such a bore. But yeah, man, pay attention to Apple for sure. If that event is coming up this week, if they talk about the Apple car, then you know we may get a little bit of movement. But just be aware of that there is an event this week, and the events are trash. They're never, you know, they look good, but it never helps the investor. We kind of, you know, sell off on that. Microsoft sitting at 269.80. 4-hour chart is below the resistance at 270. It ran up to 275, didn't really hold that area. Now we're below the resistance. We may see it come down to 268. So set your alert. We're right there though. We're at the cusp, so it can go either way, up or down. We really want things to wake up tomorrow. I mean, I kind of want everything to run off of Amazon, because Amazon gonna get some action. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Y'all gonna be like, dang, it's supposed to be at 120. It may open up at 150, 160, but it may be like a new IPO, to be honest. Amazon has not this. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to harp on Amazon. I really don't. But this price for Amazon, people been waiting years for this. Like big time investors that have missed their opportunity. There's probably a few of them, not a lot. But Amazon has not been this price ever since 2010. 12 years ago, Amazon was $124. So this is huge for Amazon. If you're a long-term investor and you're like, dude, if you're second guessing even entering Amazon, that shouldn't even be, you know, you shouldn't even be doing that. Don't do nothing. If you're going to think about it and be like, should I not? Don't do nothing. But if you got a plan and be like, look, if Amazon come to 110 or 105, I'm getting Amazon. You feel me? Stick to that. You feel what I'm saying? Because usually once that split happens again, it does drop. So think about it. You feel what I'm saying? Like this is an opportunity. Because 5-10 years from now, Amazon might be back at 2,500. Just my opinion, man. Like Amazon is a monster, bro.
Leap options.
Yeah, but once the split happened, they're gonna change up the options. So then you're gonna be able to look at the options. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm thinking about like a 500 1 year.
But I'm scared of all that because the market, the elections coming up. You know what I mean? We got midterm elections, bro. Much stuff going on for the next couple of months. I'm kind of scared of touching anything after a split that big. You know what I mean? But maybe in the money. Before the end of money.
Yeah, in the money, man. But you got to go out like past 2023. You got to go to 2024 for any of these like in the money like leaks. I mean, in my opinion, I don't know if you agree with me, Dave, but you got to go ahead and just skip all of next year. You got to start looking like January 2024.
The craziest thing about it, when the election year come around, the market kind of spikes before the election. So that might be a good sign. That might help us out. You know what I mean? If you go far out. But let me see how far they got. They only got June 2024s. I mean, that's probably the first, you know, once that split happened, you're gonna see the price of these. I say start doing some research on some in the money calls, even if you got to pay thousands. But if you can afford like a 120 call for 2024 at 105, I think that'll be, you know, pretty smart, because Amazon's is going to go crazy. I mean, for real. Like this is the Amazon. Amazon.
He not hyping that. It's really gonna go crazy.
It's gonna go crazy. Amazon is shut down the mall, guys. I gotta understand the impact of Amazon. the reason the mall don't look like the mall no more because Amazon is around. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that good entry like around like underneath 110. I mean, I'm gonna start a position. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna start a position as long as it's underneath 124.50. But I mean that one like underneath 110, I'm gonna go ham.
Yeah.
You know how how I go ham with Tesla. Yeah, I'm gonna go ham with
Amazon should be a buy for sure, man. I'm not even gonna lie. We already called our folk up. We ready, man. We locked in. We locked in. And then mind you, now we about to buy the house in about 2 months, and we investing, bro. Like ain't nothing else to talk about, bro. Ain't nothing else to talk about now. Like this is the wave. Like 5 to 10 years, I don't want.
Ken did his thing with Amazon last week.
Oh yeah, Ken killed Amazon. Congratulations on that trade. That was a good trade. Got the traction up for the week. You know, Amazon kind of carried the market also. Definitely a good trade.
Yeah, thank you, Ken.
Yeah, for sure. That was an amazing trade. But again, trust your charting though. You feel me? And I'm not saying my charts were different from Ken. He had all the levels in there. But if you trust your charting, you know that your sell opportunity was 2,400. That's all you should have known. You feel me? Once it broke above these levels, it went directly towards the resistance, bro. And then they gave you the extra look. But this is the funny part about it. This is how you know Greeks matter. It went from 150 to 1,300 at the peak at 24.78. When it went to 25, it was from $400 to $600. Y'all got to pay attention to that. Monday and Tuesday trades are very important. You feel me? You have to sell at the peak. The 2,600 call was 150, went to 1,300. And then even when it went to 500, it did not move the needle past 13. It was between $400 and $600. So that's why you got to understand why Monday and Tuesday so important for weekly trades. You feel me? The Greeks are perfect. It's a better setup, and you'll definitely make maximum profit on Monday and Tuesday. Remember that. That's bonus information because everybody was like, oh, it's at 2,500, but the contract did not move no more. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know.
Yeah. Nah. You had to be in that trade early, like Monday.
You had to be in the trade early, bro. Because if you wasn't,
outside of that, them Greeks started to kill you. That theta was eating away. That theta was eating away at that contract like nobody did.
Right. So it looked good. It's like, oh, it's at 2,500, but that contract did not move. It was done. You feel me? You made your 1,300 profit from 50. You should have been cashed out at 1,300, and that's it.
At that point in time, you got to go ahead and wait for that Thursday to Friday flip, or just wait till Friday morning.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and Friday did a 4-day consolidation.
Yeah, because I mean that Wednesday to Friday just not going to work out in your favor with those kind of groups. Especially
it was a 4-day trading week. So there you go. Anybody else got questions while we here, man? Definitely that hour is up, but I definitely want to open up the floor for y'all. Make sure y'all straight.
The Shopify, the stock split for June 28th.
Oh yeah, for sure. Shop may do the same thing. Shopify is a good business overall. Look at the monthly contract. Look at this. The monthly. This is the monthly. Pandemic price. $400. It ran up to $1,500 at its peak. Double top on the monthly. Then you see it come all the way down. The date of their split is when?
The decision, the vote is the 22nd, and the actual split will be the 28th if they agree to it.
Okay, for sure, the 22nd, and then the split will be 28th. Okay. What the ideal is, especially with Shopify, is not Amazon. Let's remember this. It's not Amazon, guys. They have a partnership with Amazon, though. You feel me? So that might be good also. Let's go break that down real quick. Let me delete all this. Let me start all over. Let's start all over. They have a partnership with Amazon. So that's one thing about Shopify you got to pay attention to. Like, they got big business. They still locked in. I mean, a lot of small business owners use Shopify for tracking and packaging and all that. So don't sleep on Shopify one bit. So boom, here you go. Levels of trade is the 353. It's at resistance right now. I mean, it's at support right now on the 1 month. Here go to 1 week. We really didn't get no traction out of them. Go to the 1 day real quick. It really didn't get no traction. That's interesting. I gotta break it all the way down to the 4 hours. So here go the 4 hour right here. Your trading zone gonna be from 353 all the way up to 500. We're trading in the zone, guys. Keep it simple. So here you go right here. And this Shopify. Notice how I'm doing the same thing when I'm making my charts up. I'm not trying to do nothing different. Keep it consistent. You don't have to have 100 indicators. You don't have to do nothing special. Keep it simple. You feel me? Because you're going to confuse yourself with all these 100 things. Like you can have 50, 100 indicators. If you ain't using them right, no, it don't matter. You feel me? If you ain't looking at your RSI before you enter the trade and noticing that the RSI high, it don't matter, bro. You just gotta.
Dave, what kind of boxes are you use?
That's quadrant lines, man. I think I'm the only one that use quadrant lines. I mean, it's different level to this stuff. So I'm a quadrant line guy. Some people use other stuff, but I use quadrant lines. It automatically set me up for my resistances. If you can notice them, because you can use quadrant lines to be off. You can mess up your quadrant lines. I'm not lying. But notice that, once you go to the 4 hour, everything touching my quadrant line, right? This is my resistance here. Notice how this is resistance over here. You feel what I'm saying? So quadrant lines is the wave for me. But right now you can get from 349 up to 383 is that first resistance. Next resistance 419. So you may be able to slide into a nice trade the week before Shopify had an announcement and stuff. We may get traction then, but just know, this is the bottom. The bottom on, further down is 314, of course, but we're right there above that resistance area on the 4 hour. We should go test the 383 eventually, like it did over here on the 31st. It went from the same break above resistance, support, it ran right up to 383, came back down, broke up above 400 this week. This was Amazon week, so Shopify got a little traction. They're friends. So it went almost $50 this week and came right back down to that area. So yeah, we should be looking for another move towards the 383 if everything works out in Shopify's favor. Practice on your charting, man. Practice on your quadrant lines or whatever. If you want to eye the work, you can eye it. I can eye it. I can come here and eye this stuff. Why? I got tools. I use my tools. Anybody else? Well, if that's it, Microsoft took care of, Apple got a thing this week. Pay attention. This again, week by week, we're making a plan, we're executing the plan. If the plan don't work, we just revamp it. At the end of each day, honestly, you can come in and make a plan. I choose to do mine on Sunday because it gives me a little bit of freedom throughout the week. The summer is here, and I got 3 kids, and they're gonna have to do all these, soccer, ballet, gymnastics. They got a whole schedule for this week. So I'm not gonna be as, available. So I gotta come in on Sundays, make up, my list and set my alerts. So when things happen and I'm out and about, I can automatically be aware of it. You know what I mean? So just giving y'all, if you're a busy person, this is the way to go, is making that plan on Sunday, execute the plan on throughout the week. If anything else come up, it's bonus. We take care of it from there. You feel what I'm saying? So please be aware of that. Be patient and don't be afraid. Be deliberate. Be intentional when you're trading. We're not guessing no more. We're not guessing no more. We're waking up, making a plan, and executing the plan. All right? Anybody else got any questions, comments, or concerns?
Let's see, we have a good week.
Hey, man, God bless everybody, bro. Bless y'all families, bless everybody. Y'all be safe. It's crazy out here, man. A lot of things been going on, so please.
Appreciate you, bro.
Y'all holler at me.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.